Here at Fandom University, I've just put up my first ever movie review for The New Mutants. And at the end of that, you'll see that I give it, as far as I know, a very unique rating. And you might be asking yourself, well, what exactly does that mean? Well, that's why we have this video, so you will know the different rankings, the different levels, because I don't want to do stars or 1 out of 5s or try to steal anybody's ranking system. So I decided to do something that I believe is unique. And since this channel is all about fandom, with a heavy focus on comic books and comic book movies, I decided to base the rating system around that. We start off with the lowest ranking, which is Villain. These are movies that basically, I'm like, not even worth your time. They're garbage. Then we move up to Minion. Movies that have maybe 1 or 2 elements that are worth watching, just that part, but overall, ignore. Then we have Street Thug. These are movies that are still not really that good, but they have a lot more redeeming qualities or things that I see at least people or myself can appreciate. Then we move into Civilian. And these are movies that are basically right down the middle. There's good things about them, there's bad things about them, and I just had a good time. I enjoyed myself, and I can recommend watching them. But it's not a movie that I might say, oh, you need to go out right this minute and see it. Then we move up to Helpful Ally. These are movies that I definitely enjoyed a lot more. They have not as much in them that I don't like. And I can say maybe go see a matinee of this movie. After that, we have Hero. These are movies that I'm getting really close to loving. These are some of the best movies I will see during the year. They're movies that I just loved. There was like nothing at all. Maybe a tiny aspect of the movie that I really didn't care for. But these are movies that I recommend you go see. Sometimes I might say it wasn't exactly for me, but I can appreciate whether it's technical or story or performances. That might be why it gets here, even if for me, it might not be a movie that I necessarily will plan on seeing again. And finally, we have Mentor. These are the granddaddy movies. These are the movies that if you don't go see them, you're definitely missing out on something as far as I'm concerned. These are movies that you have to go out right now, go buy your ticket, see it on the big screen, and sometimes if it's 3D, maybe it's worth it. These are the movies that you will be disappointed if you miss out on them. Now, if you haven't noticed, this ranking is all revolved around superheroes, villains, and comic book lore or the way they speak. Obviously, like I mentioned, that's because this channel is all about fandom, primarily about comics. That's where that stuff comes from. And just because I put a movie in a certain category for me doesn't mean that it won't be a good movie for you. Or it doesn't mean that there's something about it that isn't redeemable, or there isn't something about it that's bad. It might just be something about this movie that I'm like, yeah, it just wasn't for me. And if you like things like I do, then it probably won't be for you either. And to kind of describe that, what I'm going for is it goes from being pure evil to no evil. You have the villain, who is the ultimate pure form of evil, as far as this ranking is concerned. You have the minions who serve them. They're evil, but they're not quite as evil, though they could be. You got the street thug, who's just the purse snatcher, you know, the one that you rough up for 2 pages before the big bad shows up. You have the civilian, which is you and me. We all have the potential for good. We all have the potential for evil. We don't really have any one way that we go. We have the potential, like I said, for both. Then you have the helpful ally. And this is the type of person that is good. They don't have any superpowers. They're not, mentoring, teaching people anything necessarily. But they're there. They're helping you. They're a good person. For me, I'd consider these to be maybe sidekicks, or I would say law officers within the comic book worlds. And I don't want to get into that discussion because as far as I'm concerned, I salute and support our law officers when they do what is right. That being said, let's move on to hero, which are the ones with the powers, the ones that are out there doing everything. They are the superpower, the one you see every day. They are the granddaddies. They are out there helping you. They are saving the day. And then you have, finally, the mentor, the wise, sage, the one who knows everything, who's been around the bend. They are pure goodness. They are teaching the way. For me, these could be people, think of like, for Marvel, maybe it's Charles Xavier, or the Watcher, or at times, maybe Captain America, because he's been a mentor to people. If you want to talk DC, maybe we talk Superman, maybe even Batman to a certain degree. So I hope you understand this ranking. Let me know what you think about it. And this is how I intend to rank, like I said, movies, TV shows from here on out. So enjoy my future reviews. And as we say, read what you love, enjoy what you love, and let's all work for a better fandom. I'll see you next time.